New Hampshire International Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire. And the cars are lined on the grid. Eddie Flemke Jr. enters New Hampshire first in the championship standings. But first on the grid today, TC Teddy Christopher. But the man who owns the record as the winningest driver here at New Hampshire is standing by with our Marty Snyder.
And Matt, that man would be Tony Hirschman, who has 7 wins here at New Hampshire, but in this year's points championship chase, he is second to Eddie Flemke, as you mentioned. But at New Hampshire, Eddie has only 1 top 10 in his last 6 races here. So, Tony, is this a place where you can gain some ground on Eddie?
I hope we can gain some points on him. It's a big starting field here. I don't wish no bad luck on anybody. You know, if you drop out here early with 40-some cars, you can take a big hit. So I just hope we can race good. Hopefully finish a couple more spots ahead of him and, you know, close that gap a little.
Kind of a big change in the weather. We practice in some sunny conditions, and the weather's a little bit different now. Does that concern you in any way?
Well, a lot of cars have been running on the track since rerun 2 days ago, and the rain and the other cars, it's going to be a little slick for a while. I think about 10-15 laps we'll get some of our rubber on the track, and then that's when we'll know what we have in our car in about 10-15 laps.
Tony has 4 top 10s in his last 5 races, including 2 wins. Matt?
Hello, everyone. Matt Yoakum alongside Tommy Baldwin Jr., and he's a Nextel Cup Series crew chief now, but for years he was right down there on pit road, a crew chief here in the Modifieds. And Tommy, you talk to drivers in this series, they say racing here at New Hampshire, this is their Daytona 500.
Well, it is. It's one of the biggest tracks they run on. Restricted plate racing, just like Daytona. A lot of drafting, believe it or not. It's a small track to us Cup guys, but this is the biggest track. All the drafting, you'll see 2-3 cars go down the bottom, getting into turn 1, getting into turn 3. It'll be very exciting. Now, we've talked about the weather. You heard Tony Hirschman talking about it. How will weather change this racetrack? Well, it does the same way it does the Cup cars. When the sun goes in, the track gains grip. And these guys, it's going to be pretty tough the first 10-15 laps because they have all that radial rubber on the car, you know, on the track. And with the Modifieds back in the days when I worked, the cars would be so ill-handled in race cars, and it would take a little bit, like what Tony said earlier, for the Goodyear and the Hoosiers rubber to get back on the track, and for the Modifieds to handle the right way. Well, we've got 100 laps of racing here at New Hampshire, and we're closing in on, and there he is, Tiger Tom, 6-time winner here in the Modifieds, and let's go downstairs for the command.
As NASCAR's original division, the Featherlite Modified Series is about to take the green flag in the Siemens 100. Here to give the command to start engines, our Grand Marshal, Jerry LeBlanc.
Drivers, start your engines.
And the engines have fired. The race everyone's been waiting for 2 days. 100 laps, the average 12 lead changes. We've seen as many as 30 here in New Hampshire. What many consider the Daytona 500 race for the Modifieds. We'll be rolling off soon. Welcome back to Loudon, New Hampshire. NASCAR Featherlite Modified Series racing here on speed. Teddy Christopher on the pole. You saw our championship leader, Eddie Flemke, earlier. Leads by 58 markers over Tony Hirschman. Jerry Marquis back in 3rd. TC is in 4th. And Rick Fuller rounds out your top 5. Jamie the Jet Tomeno had a hard crash here in practice in a backup car. Followed by Hausfeld, George, Cravino, and Ken Berry. And let's run through the grid, and this is how they'll roll off today. John Blewett the 3rd on the outside of the front row. Jan Leedy, a former winner here at New Hampshire, alongside is Ken Berry. Donnie Leah and Reggie Ruggiero, the Reg back in the Modifieds. Then down in row 5, the Tiger, Tom Baldwin, your dad.
The legend.
A lot of good times and a lot of good wins. Jerry Marquis and Lenny Bowler's 3, the old blue. There's our point leader, Eddie Flemke, starting in row 7. Kenny Bouchard. As a modified school, you can go and drive one of these race cars, Thompson, Connecticut. Now, Tommy, we talk a lot about the modifieds. What is the difference for a fan who is new to this series between this car compared to a Nextel Cup car, which you work on a weekly basis?
Well, the biggest thing is the tires. The tires are so wide compared to our Cup cars, and the horsepower to weight ratio is a big difference also. And you know, they put on a great show here, and I can't wait to get started.
I heard one driver describe it as like a jet fighter compared to like a 747.
Yeah, I mean, when we first came here 10, 15 years ago, we kind of broke our hearts that we had to run restrictor plates here because we were looking forward to the speed. And you know, the modifieds go just as fast as the Cup cars do with the restrictor plates. So that just goes to show you how fast these cars can go.
Now, these cars run restrictor plates at New Hampshire and Nazareth. Now, Tommy, when you look at these race cars, you can see they don't have a full windshield like a Nextel Cup car does. Why?
Well, they don't really need one. I mean, they have to let the air go through the cars the way the cars are shaped and built. And you know, the modifieds are modifieds. They're open wheel. You know, started out with no rules, and rules have gradually came to the series because of the situation of the competition and the era of the modifieds where they're at now. And it's just the air needs to go through that. It needs to hit that rear spoiler, and that's why you're going to see a lot of drafting today. It comes off that rear spoiler. It opens up a big hole behind these cars, and you'll see a lot, probably 2, 3, maybe 4 cars drafting.
Today marks the first of 2 races here at New Hampshire this season for the NASCAR Featherlite Modified Series, NASCAR's only open-wheel division, and Teddy Christopher will bring the field down to green, and the flag's in the air. We're racing here at New Hampshire. TC leads the field out in 3 with John Blue at the 3rd on the outside. And you can already see drivers, Tommy, starting to dart around, setting up to make those slingshot moves.
Yep, like I said earlier, the cars aren't going to be handling very well for the first 5, 10 laps, and you know, as you can see, a couple of cars are backing up now, but you know, they're just finding their groove right now and trying to get in line and go to the front.
Christopher leads the first lap, followed by Blewett. Looking back, the 41, the red car just barely in your frame. The Reggie Ruggiero, 6 wins here in New Hampshire, trying to tie Hirschman's mark of 7.
Teddy's car looked real strong in their happy hour the other day, and also looked, Mike Christopher his brother looked very good in that team car there, so he's one to watch. He started a little further back than Teddy today.
Twin brothers and twin cars, so to speak, and TC will tell you, I was 7 minutes older than my brother Mike.
I think Teddy's got more wins than he does right now, though.
A whole gaggle of cars there. The 3, you can see them darting around, Tommy. Now, how much dirty air do these cars pick up?
A lot, because of the rear spoiler. You know, they punch a big hole. You know, they'll get in line here in a little bit, and more handling's come into play in the last couple of years here at New Hampshire than it used to be. I think it's because of the tires and because of the competition. And you know, we used to never see 1 or 2 cars take off from the field like they have in the past. You know, in the past here. And you know, you're getting ready to see some good racing. The cars are just starting to find their groove here, and here comes the passing starting to happen now.
Back up front, there's Teddy Christopher. For more, let's go to Marty Snyder.
Yeah, you talk about a guy who just laser focused on trying to win here, Matt. He's never won a modified race here. He's finished 2nd twice. He has, however, won 4 NASCAR Busch Series North races here. Teddy wants to win here so badly. I talked to Barry Cunell, his crew chief. He said this is the big race for Teddy. He really wants to win this one. It's been 5 years since someone won a race here from the pole. Teddy trying to change that today.
Well, Christopher in the 13 car continues to lead for Mystique Motorsports. But boy, a lot of racing. Little Indian file from 1st through 5th. But from there on back, it's really starting to get dicey.
Teddy put a lot of effort into this race today. He had a brand new motor built just for this place, and you know, Barry Cunell, the crew chief on that team, puts a lot of effort in them cars. Them cars are prepared very well.
See Todd Zegedy in the 50, last year's champion. There's Tiger Tom Baldwin. Little bump drafting there. 15 is Zach Sylvester. Zegedy on the outside. Now, I talked to a lot of different drivers, and they all say this race is so fun, but yet it is very mentally tasking on a driver. It wears you out. So much focus has to go into this, Tommy.
Well, it's because of the drafting and you know, the speed that these cars produce. And, you know, Reg's dropping off here. Something happened to Reg.
Reggie Ruggiero, the 41 car, Dick Barney's car out of New Jersey. Something amiss on that car. He's down on the apron, making his way to pit road on the access road going into turn 3. A fan favorite, took a few years off, got out of the modifieds, but teamed up with Dick Barney out of New Jersey, and they said, you know what, it's March, we don't have a driver, he doesn't have a ride. Phone call was placed, and they hooked up, going to run 8 or 9 races this year, has a win and a second. But back up front, Christopher starting to be pressured by John Blewett.
John Blewett the third, making a move for the lead here. As you can see, he got a good run off turn 4 there and used the drafting, pulled off about the start-finish line to get underneath Petty there.
Now, is that the patented way you set up a driver with these cars here, Tommy?
Yeah, that's really the only way you can get it run is off the corners. You know, usually the car has to turn real well through the center of the corner and get right behind the car in front of you and just drop down right at start-finish line.
Coming out of 4 to complete lap 10. Got a spin down in turn. You can see the left front tire. Wade Cole, he's got issues. Cautions in the air. The first caution of the afternoon. Cole gets underway in the 33 car.
This race is going to be pretty tricky because the 100 laps is right on the borderline of the fuel in these modified, so it's going to be close.
Let's take a look and see what happened to the 33 car. You can see the left front tire was already down, Tom.
Yeah, it must have picked up a piece of debris. These, you know, the air pressure that the modifieds run here, that usually see a lot of problems with the Cup cars because we kind of get a little on the scary side on the air pressure. But he must have picked up a piece of debris and the tire fell off the bead of the rim there.
Well, Teddy Christopher still leads, the only leader we've had today here at New Hampshire. 10 laps are in the books. We'll be back in a moment. Set to restart modified racing here at New Hampshire on the Magic Mile. And the Reggie Ruggiero, he's out with a blown motor. There's Dick Barney, legendary owner. And there's the restrictor plate we were talking about, Tommy.
Yeah, as you can see, they're pulling off the plate right now. NASCAR gives every team the spacer plate and the restrictor plate. That's an 1 1/8" plate that goes with the modifieds. Cup cars, I think, wear either 29/32 or a 7/8 plate.
Coming to the green, double file restart here at New Hampshire. Christopher and Blewett on the front row as they haul off down into turn 1. Christopher's led every lap so far this afternoon. You can see some of the speedy drives during the racetrack kicking up to that caution. The 20 car, Ken Berry, down on the inside, second at Nazareth. Oh, a little bobble by the 13 of Christopher. Berry powers on through to take the position. Christopher tries to get it back on the inside, going down into turn 1.
TC just used all motor there. He got 77 game. Oh, got a little loose there.
Inches apart off turn 2.
77 car, the Chase family puts together great modified. They have, you know, over the years here, them cars have run in the top 5 probably every race.
John Blewett in the 77. Currently the 3rd position, started on the outside of the front row. For more, let's go to Marty Snyder. Whoa, we've got a spin, Marty.
Spin, Matt. Go ahead.
The leader, Ken Berry, spins down in turns 1 and 2.
Oh, big
Pile up now. Caution is out for the 2nd time this afternoon. 19 laps in the books. Fred Vordermeyer, the 97, a sister car to our point leader, Eddie Flemke's team, the Hill team out of North Carolina. You can see the right front damage. That right front's towed out. Now both.
It broke the steering in it. These modifieds, every time you bump these tires, that's what happens. Breaks a tie rod in.
Fred Vordermeyer not running the full schedule, limited deal, running a sister car to Eddie Flemke, our championship point leader. Nevin George, he's on pit road in the 0 car.
Looks like he's got a Nerf bar rubbing on the tire there.
Let's go back and take a look and see if we can find out what happened to our leader, Ken Berry.
Looks like he just got loose getting into through 1 and 2 there, and that's a pretty tricky corner there. It's almost 2 corners there, and he got on the gas probably a little bit too early there and just spun out.
Then more, there's the 71, Bob Pulvereri. Another look here. It doesn't look like the 20 had really any damage, Tommy, except for maybe flat spotting those tires.
Yeah, which could really cause a problem with these cars, because once they get a big vibration with the flat spot, I mean, you really can't even see out of the helmet there, and maybe they can come in and put some tires on.
Marty, why did Ken Berry spin?
I don't know the exact reason, Matt, but I know a lot of teams are complaining that there was fluid on the racetrack, especially coming off of turn 2. Maybe that's what he hit, but all the teams are saying they are extremely loose out there.
Now, in this division, they do have a tire rule, Tommy. 4 tires you're allowed for the race, but you can use those at any position, meaning you can use, you don't have to have a tire on the left front to change. You can rotate that, maybe have 2 tires on the right rear if you want during the course of the race.
Yeah, it's set up a little bit differently than how we're used to in the Busch Series. The Busch Series rules, the biggest problem the modifieds have, either wearing out the right front because the car is pushing, or wearing out the right rear because the car is loose. And I've talked to a lot of guys this week, and they really said for the first time, my surprise, they weren't going to pit for this 100-lap race. And I don't know, I think the car that probably will win today probably will pit.
Well, we're under caution here at New Hampshire for the 2nd time this afternoon. 21 laps in the books. And Teddy Christopher, our pole sitter, back out front. Back in New Hampshire, greens in the air. Teddy Christopher and John Blewett lead the field down into turn 1 after our 2nd caution of the day.
'77 car got a good run off the corner there, and you're not going to really see him take off very far, as you see the back 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place car using that drafting to catch up to the leaders.
And you can see those cars, Tommy, going through the air, darting around, darting back and forth.
77 car, it usually always has taken him probably 20, 30 laps to get into the groove, and having the track come to that car, and I believe him and Teddy are probably going to be the 2 best cars today. And as young Donnie Lear, he's 3rd. This is his 2nd year racing in this division. He's from Long Island. He's doing a good job.
26 laps and 100 completed so far. Only 2 leaders, Teddy Christopher and John Blewett the 3rd. Teddy on the inside trying to retake that position as he comes down the line. He gets it. While we were away, Nevin George took his 0 car to the garage, and a number of drivers pitted under that last caution. Ken Berry, the 3 car, Jerry Marquis, Tommy Cravino, just to name a few. Whoa, close call there moments ago by Todd Zegedy, bouncing off the wall, Tommy. And these are open-wheel cars, not like a Nextel Cup or Busch car where you've got fenders where you can, do a little bit of rubbing up against the wall and not get serious damage.
Well, that was a result of drafting. They were bump drafting there, and some guys got into each other, and 50 car paid the price.
Top 3 cars, Teddy Christopher, Blewett, and Donnie Lee in the 18 car. see the top three. The guy in the middle is John Blewett from Moore. Let's go to Marty Snyder.
I think he's very happy with the way they're running, Matt, because yesterday he told me the car has not been good here this weekend at all. They made loads of changes yesterday when they went through inspection. The car very good. He said it's a little bit loose like a lot of the cars out here today, but he's pretty happy.
And they're happy out there. They're right. The car didn't look very good at all. And you know, hats off to them boys. They made some great adjustments.
You see the three of Jerry Marquis just out of your picture there. Laps in the books here in New Hampshire. Teddy Christopher continues to lead. Jan Leedy, a former winner here at New Hampshire, he's had issues here today, and he's taken his car behind the wall.
That's a shame because Jan always runs well here. You know, I don't think he races full time on the tour anymore, and you know, he always looks forward to coming here and race. 9
career wins. His last win came right here at New Hampshire in July of 2002. 2 races so far this season. His best finish though was 6th, the other plate race at NASCAR.
As you can see, the 13 and the 77 right now to the class of the field, and they're battling. They're putting on a good show.
But Tommy, how much at this point in time do you really show what you have and abuse that right rear tire? Do you save your stuff to a certain point and then push the button, or is it basically it's game on from the get-go?
Well, I don't think anybody behind Teddy is going to be able to not pressure or not put as much time on their tires as they need it, because Teddy's all out. That's the way Teddy drives. He wins in a lot of different divisions, a lot of different race cars, and you know, he's just a phenomenal racer, and he gives us all he has every lap.
Well, while TC leads up front, his twin brother in a sister car started 17th. Mike Christopher there battling the 5. Pasterak in the 82 car there is Christopher.
He's moved up. I think he's up to 9th right now, getting ready to pass Charlie Pasterak now, and he's doing a good job.
Battle for 7. Solid run in the top 10. On the inside, trying to make that move on the 5 cars, Christopher in the 82.
Yeah, you see a little bump draft in there, and it starts to get exciting here.
Great battle here. 7th through 10th. Back up front, though. 77 Blewett on the inside, trying to retake that lead from Christopher. Donnie Leah trying to figure out which lane to go, the bottom or the high side.
Well, watching Donnie in practice, that car really looked good on the high side, and we'll see how he does here going into turn 1. He got a good draft with Teddy here, and really hooked up there.
Your top 3, close battle for the lead as they exit off turn 2 going down the backstretch here at New Hampshire.
As you can see, Donnie got a great draft help with Teddy there, and you know, that's what the Modifieds are all about here. They punch that big hole with that rear spoiler, and you know, the air goes right through the cockpit and right on that spoiler and opened up big hole. As you see, Donnie got a good draft there and getting on the TC.
The top 3 have pulled out to a little bit of a cushion from 4th on back. We talked about Jan Leedy earlier. Let's go down to Marty Snyder.
Well, Jan, I thought I'd talk to you at some point today, just not this early. What put you out?
Well, we're really sorry. Had a good car today, but unfortunately we ran into some clutch problems. Nothing that we foresaw at all in practice or qualifying. Really unfortunate.
You notice the track being very slick today?
Wow. What happens is we're running after these other divisions, and all our rubber's been cleaned off, and I think if we get 15, 20, 30 laps of green in, that the track will come around and tighten up, but it's very, very slick right now.
Former New Hampshire winner out of it early today.
And Donnie Leah had the lead, but Teddy Christopher just took it back.
Just.
And we've got caution on the racetrack, Tommy.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it's for. Don't see any cars.
The 97 Bordemeyer spun again here at New Hampshire. Involved in the earlier caution.
See what happened. Looks like he just lost it there on his own. Like Jan just said, the track's real greasy still, and you know, He's modified the rubber on these tires are completely different than the Busch cars and the Cup cars, and it's going to take a little bit for these cars to start sticking to the track. And you know, it looks like the 13 and the 18 and the 77 haven't figured out though.
Well, under caution again here at New Hampshire, Teddy Christopher continues to lead, followed by Donnie Leah, Blewett, Zegedy, and Tony Hirschman. Back in New Hampshire, leader Christopher on pit road gives up the lead to John Blewett and Donnie Leah. Your two cars now. Let's go to Marty Snyder as Christopher's making his way to his pit stop.
Yeah, Matt, Teddy just said his car was a little too loose for his liking, so what they're going to do is they're going to come in, change the tires, they're going to pull the rubber out of the right rear spring. That should make that car a little bit tighter, a little bit happier for Ted. As we said, most teams are saying the track is slick. Looks like this will be a 3-tire change. They will not change the left front tire. They already make the chassis adjustment as well as pulling out the spring rubber, now changing the right front tire. That should be the last one. Barry Cannell said the car was pretty good, just a little bit too loose for Teddy, and they are going to change just 3 tires and let him go back out on the racetrack.
Tommy, your observation of that pit stop?
Well, I mean, you know, these guys don't get to practice much because they have full-time jobs, and you know, it's a little scary. And you know, they changed 3 tires. You're used to seeing the Busch cars and the Cup cars change 2 or 4, and you know, when these cars are loose, they don't wear out the left front, only when the cars are tight. So that's probably why they elected just to do 3.
A close call there between the 3 of Jerry Marquis and the 13 of Teddy Christopher on pit road. We'll be back for more in a moment.
This summer, get ready to race. Hot Wheels presents the top teams in F1. Ferrari, Renault, McLaren, Williams. Watch the next F1 race on speed. Write down the code word. Then register to win a VIP trip to the 2005 Australian Grand Prix. The VIP.
Lap 42, restart here at New Hampshire. NASCAR Featherlite Modified Series Racing on the Magic Mile. Teddy Christopher has led 33 laps so far today, but he hit pit road to make a chassis adjustment, fix that loose race car. Donnie Leah back out front, followed by John Blewett, Todd Zegedy, Tony Hirschman, and Steffi Mike Stefanik rounds out your top 5.
And this is when it starts getting real interesting, because you know, you had a lot of guys, probably about 15 guys, come in and change tires to tighten up or loosen up their car. Probably most of them are on the loose side because of the track condition. And you know, I still think the person who pits is going to win the race. We'll see.
Todd Zegedy went a little high there down in turns 1 and 2. Currently in 3rd. Zegedy in the white 50 car, the defending series champion, also running 3 races this year for Joe Nemechek in the NASCAR Busch Series. 1 more race to go on that 3-race program. You see Teddy Christopher trying to make his way back up to the front, on the inside, outside, trying to go through the middle.
And it's always exciting to watch Teddy. Got a spin here off turn, a big pile.
Big pile up off turn 2. A host of cars all involved. Teddy Christopher, the 13, trying to make his way through. He's blocked in.
Looks like he didn't get any damage. He just got blocked in there. I think he'll be okay.
The 12 of Tommy Cravino. Teddy Christopher's back on their way. Lap 45, 3rd caution of the afternoon. So our pole sitter gets away unscathed in that turn 2 crash. A number of cars starting to pull away. Looks like everyone's going to get away under their own power. Let's take a look and see what happens. The 47 car is on the inside.
Looks like pushed up and hit his left rear there, but I think that's Richie Gallup there, and that's what caused it there. It's a shame. A number of good cars were in it.
A dozen or more cars involved, and there's Tom Baldwin Sr. on pit road, and keep an eye on the guys that go over the wall to service this race car.
Yeah, some of them are the Duke crew and some of the 9 guys, and they stayed and helped my dad, and they're going to have some problems there. I think he's got some steering there. Stevie Lawrence and Brent Weitz and Ross and all the boys are helping, but it looks like he's got some major problems there.
Let's go down to Marty Snyder for more.
Yeah, Matt, he's got a flat left front. Looks like they do have some suspension problems in the left front. They kind of can wiggle the left front around as much as they want to. And Tommy, how much are you paying these guys to be down here?
No, they're on charity today.
Come on
charity
now.
today.
Now, these guys do it because they love, this is fun for them. And I talked to Cale Kane and Brent Wentz, a couple of the guys. They are just here to have fun. And this is just a ball for these guys to be down here because this is a fun race to watch, especially from pit road, even though they don't get to see very much of it.
It's a shame, too, because, you know, they just pitted, and that's the chances you usually take. You see Casey there on pit road there watching the.
And he had a big modified race on Wednesday night at Thompson.
Yeah, it was awesome. Me and Casey went up to Thompson there, we tested the Cup car, actually the car that we're running here, and all day, and we did an appearance and had a lot of fun with the fans. And Casey drove one of Teddy's SK modifieds there in a little exhibition there, and he ended up winning the race.
Casey Kane loves to drive any kind of race car. Good night for him on Wednesday. Bad day today, though, for your dad, Tom Baldwin Sr. We'll be back for more here in New Hampshire. And Tom Baldwin Sr.'s 7NY on the hook, making its way back to the garage. Repairs to that left front. Couldn't get it fixed to get it back out. We're back under green here at New Hampshire. Donnie Leah and Zegedy, former series champion, bring the field down to green as they haul off down into turn one. Zegedy on the outside in the 50 car. Leah washes up just a little bit. The 2003 Rookie of the Year for this series.
As you can see, the 28 car, Doug Colby there, he started 37th. He's already up to third there, giving Zegedy a little bump draft there to try to get him past Donnie Lear.
Big gain of 34 spots so far. We're just past the halfway here at New Hampshire. NASCAR's Featherlite Modifieds on speed. Leah and Zegedy still battling for that top spot.
That 18 car, he's hooked up pretty good today. It's going to be an interesting race. The 77 pitted on that last caution there and lost a lot of track position. It's going to be also interesting watching him come up through the pack here.
Hirschman has snuck into our frame as well. The 48 car, 7 wins here in New Hampshire.
Yeah, they weren't very happy after the happy hour the other day, and they made a lot of changes also. And hats off to those guys. And you know, he's running in the top 5 the whole race so far.
Now, while those guys are battling for the lead, Teddy Christopher continues to make his way back up to the front after pitting earlier. All the way up to 11th now, knocking on the door. His brother Mike in the 10th position, the 82 car, the team car.
I believe Mike also pitted, but you know, when these modifieds are loose, they wear out the right rear big time. And I think the cars, again, in my opinion, I believe that the cars that have pitted are the cars that are going to be the cars to beat.
TC trying to make his way back into the top 10. For more, let's go to Marty Snyder.
Yeah, Matt, remember Teddy was involved in that wreck a little bit earlier. He got a little front bumper damage, but he said, hey, everything else is okay. So, Tommy, is that going to hurt him in any way?
I don't think so. I mean, as long as it didn't bang up any ductwork there in front of it, you still use that aerodynamics in the front, I think he'll be okay.
TC tries the outside line. Up to 9th now, his brother Mike, the 82 car, in 8th.
First 4 cars are starting to pull away from the rest of the field right now.
Back up front, you can see Donnie Leah currently leads, Zegedy and Kobe. Caution on the racetrack. You see Donnie Leah waving his hand, letting Zegedy know we are in the caution. Big crash here.
Yeah, he took a good hit here. He must have got loose off turn 4 and smacked the inside wall there.
You see the window net is down for Greg.
And as you can see, the Nerf bars on these cars, they're doubled up. NASCAR and the officials came up with those rules probably about 10 years ago. I had a couple bad accidents, and actually they're used for absorbent energy more than anything. Some cars where the right front tires or the left front tires are going up on the Nerf bars and climb over the cars, and also when the cars were hitting on the side of, with the wall there, there wasn't enough energy, and the drivers were paying the price. So that was a big rule change a while ago.
Well, while the wrecker pulls up, the helmet's off, getting ready to climb out. 56 laps are in the books here in New Hampshire. Donnie Leah continues to lead. Working our 5th caution here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. While we were away, a number of teams hit pit road for service. There's Greg Shivers. He got out safely. He's okay. Hard hit. Now Todd Zegedy has taken over the lead. The reason, Donnie Leah has hit pit road. Marty?
Yeah, he gave up the lead, Matt, to come down pit road, change tires. He's now in 21st position. Kevin Crowley, the crew chief, said, listen, we've seen how good guys are on new tires. Teddy Christopher's coming up through the field. John Blewett's coming up through the field. Let's try it on our car. But, Tommy, they took 4 tires. He says a little tighter on that run. They're pretty happy with the chassis-wise. Why 4 tires instead of 3?
Well, the reason is because the car got tight, and like I said earlier, if you're loose, you can get away with not changing that tire because it won't grain up. But the car was getting tight, and they felt that they had to change for it, which was a good decision.
Green flags in the air, lap 62. Todd Zegedy, the defending series champion, leads the field down into turn 1. 39 laps to go here in New Hampshire.
That's amazing, that 28 car, Doug Colby there. They borrowed that car. That car was a backup from the Sylvester family. Colby had some problems with his car. He started 37th in that car, and he was already up to 2nd.
Working on the back of Zegedy in the 50. Hirschman in 3rd. Nose to tail coming down the front stretch. Christopher eyeing the outside. Dips back in.
Both Christopher brothers there, like I said earlier, it's going to be pretty important that they pit, and I still believe that the winner will be the person who pitted, and they're hooked up right now.
TC up to 5th. You talked about John Blewett. He's up to 9th.
Passing for 8th. He's on a rail right now.
Kobe on the inside for more. Let's go to Marty Snyder.
Yeah, Matt, back on lap 48. Todd Zegedy actually brushed the wall off of turn 2. Got a little right side damage. He hit it with the tires, actually, as he watches up in the middle of 1 and 2 there. You got to think, Tommy, that would hurt the handling of the car a little bit, but Todd said he doesn't really feel anything different. This is the same car he won with at Nazareth. It was brand new there, and that was the last plate race for these modifieds.
Yeah, and he's paying the price right now for not pitting. I'm not sure if the damage is hurting him, but the lack of tires on the vehicle right now is hurting him. As the guys who have the Christopher family who just take the lead have fresh tires.
Mike Christopher out front. His brother Teddy back in 2nd. Team cars, the 82 and 13. Now, you talked about Zegedy. He's bounced off the wall twice today, off turn 2 and off turn 4. 36 laps to go. You can see a little bump drafting going on there, Tommy, between the brothers.
Yeah, they got raced a lot of races together, and they've had some rivalries, and I'm sure their mothers had to split them up enough times. And as Teddy's going for the lead here, got a good draft.
Dives off down into turn 1, takes the lead.
Something happened there. I believe the 28 car.
Kobe goes high, it looks like.
Looks like he blew a motor there, getting into the corner there.
Cautions on the racetrack. As Doug Kobe comes to a stop up in turns 1 and 2. And Tommy, you can see the little trail of fluid behind the race car.
Yeah, that looked like the bottom end of the motor dropped there, and it's a shame because he was really putting on a good show. Like I said, he had that car. He borrowed that car early on in the week there, and he was running well.
Well, while he gets ready to climb out of that race car, back up front, the Christopher brothers, 1st and 2nd, Zegedy 3rd, and John Blewett's made his way up to 4th. Hirschman rounds out your top 5. Let's take a look here, Tommy, see what happened. You can see the 28 goes high.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great save because the motor did break there. You didn't see it. It happened a little earlier than that, but it was a great save by Colby.
Well, back under caution here in New Hampshire. And the 50 of Todd Zegedy Marty, are they going to pit or not pit?
Well, I don't know. Let's ask Phil Moran, the crew chief. First of all, how bad's the damage? You brushed the wall earlier.
The right front wheel's got a little bit of damage in it. I think the toe end's knocked in a little bit, but Todd said there's no vibrations or anything like that, so I'm going to stick with my original plan of staying out there. This race has a tendency of, you know, it's kind of tough to come from the back. I mean, Teddy's done it and Johnny's done it. You know, he's had the help of a couple cautions, but we're going to try to keep that Burnham Ford up front.
So even though he's fallen back to third, you're not going to pit today?
No.
All right, that's the plan. He said they made the plan this morning, and they're sticking with it.
Szegedy won at Nazareth, currently third. Now, he missed a race, and for a good reason. He was running Joe Nemechek's Busch car. You see the 50 car there. He entered today's race 11th in the championship standings, just 2 points, though, out of the top 10.
Now, as you can see, the damage there on the right front.
Well, let's take a look and see. Now, Tommy, talk us through this as he bumps the wall here.
Well, what happened was they were bump drafting down the straightaway, and a couple of cars slowed down a little bit, and Szegedy had no place to go, and he actually just tried to get out of the way, and the car got out from under him a little bit, and he brushed the wall.
67 laps in the books here at New Hampshire. Teddy Christopher, the pole sitter, back out front. He's led 35 laps today here on the Magic Mile.
Hey, Mr. Rodriguez, big game tonight, huh?
Back at New Hampshire, under caution, Teddy Christopher continues to lead his brother Mike in tow in his team car. Let's go downstairs to Marty.
Well, Matt, let's talk to Barry Cannell, the crew chief. Well, you've done everything right so far. Can he keep it up front and win this thing?
Yeah, maybe his brother can help push us through here. I don't know. If it's between them two, it'll be a good battle at the end, though.
I don't know, I think Mike's still holding a grudge from being second when they were twins, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
He might want to win it. Just a quick note, Sean Case, the young 18-year-old, was running fifth, lost the motor. Shame, because those guys had a great run going, Matt.
And there's Barry Cannell. A lot of wins and championships in this division, Tommy.
Yeah, he does it full time. You know, that's how much into it he is. They build their own cars, and they have a fleet of them. And we were at Thompson there this past Wednesday, and they had 5 SKs sitting there for, Casey broke the motor in the one he was going to run. They just pulled out another car out of the trailer. I said, where'd that come from? Oh, we got plenty of them.
Well, 2 cars out front, the 13 and 82. Teddy, the older of the 2 brothers, about 7 minutes. Teddy brings him down. Green's in the air. We're back under racing here at New Hampshire. A little congestion a little farther in the back of the pack. Yeah, trouble on the right front.
Yep. Eddie Flemke, I believe, missed a shift there, and that's what caused that 72.
Still under green here at New Hampshire.
Major right front damage to that vehicle.
Jimmy Kuhn Jr. out of Massachusetts, trying to make his way back around. We're still under green here at New Hampshire. The Christopher brothers out front now. 3 of the first 4 cars in your frame have fresh tires. The Christophers and John Blue at the 77 car.
And I think that the time they pitted was the right time. I think if you pitted probably any time after that, you're going to be stuck in traffic and be paid a price for it.
28 laps to go. Christopher trying to win his first modified race here at New Hampshire. Indian file coming off turn 2. And let's find out what happened on that restart. Let's take a look as the Christophers bump drafting down the backstretch.
As you can see, the green flag wave. Oh, they just jumped to start. The 72 got into Eddie Flemke there, and that's what caused the damage.
Got into the back of the point leader, Eddie Flemke Jr. trying to win his first series championship. He's had a solid day, currently in the 9th position.
Some drafting going on. It's amazing what good a show these modifieds put on here. And believe it or not, in the Riverhead Raceway, the quarter-mile bull ring there, they put on just as good a show. 2 wide there, and it's one of the best races on the tour that they've run, Riverhead, Long Island. As you can see, Blewett getting on the Zegedy. It takes probably 2-3 laps for the new tires to set in versus the old tires there, and they're going to start to pay the price here. But you know, the top 3 cars pitted for tires, and those other guys, I believe, probably pitted a little too late to get back to the front.
Blewett takes over third from Zegedy. Hirschman rounding out your top 5 as Zegedy drafts down the front stretch.
Tony Hirschman's been holding, you know, steady all day long. They haven't pitted, and it'd be great to see him get a top 5 finish here.
As they're bump drafting now, Hirschman just out of your frame. Former series champion. Marty?
Well, I asked his crew chief if they were going to pit, and they said no way. They're kind of stuck with the strategy. As you said, at this point, Tommy, they've won twice this year. And remember, they're kind of battling for this championship, so I think they kind of want to just hang in for a top 5 and really not go for the win right now, just kind of get a solid top 5 out of this.
Hirschman in the 48 car. Now, the owners are based in New York City, but they keep this race car at his shop in Pennsylvania. Hirschman entered New Hampshire 58 points out of the lead behind Eddie Flemke Jr.
See Mike Stefanik starting to get into the picture here as the Christopher brothers come off turn 4 battling.
Nose to tail down the front stretch. Mystique Motorsports cars.
You can see the back of Teddy's bumper is pretty beat up there. I believe that's from his brother beating on it down the straightaway.
Well, those two are having a great battle for the lead, first and second. Off into turn 3. And there he is, Mike Stefanik, former series champion. He dives on the inside, trying to make the move on Zegedy. The caution's out. Once again here at New Hampshire. Start at 20th. Stefanik up to 6th. A slow car off turn 2. As the field goes by, the Christophers. So far, your top 5, the Christophers, then John Blewett, Zegedy, and the 16 of Mike Stefanik jumping into the top 5.
Mike Stefanik, one of the winningest drivers in the history of the modified ranks, and he doesn't do it full time. He runs the Busch North Series full time, and he just picks his races that they have a chance to run here.
You see the damage to Ronnie Silk's car right in the front there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that caused the problem, but it looks like the car might have had a little overheating problem, possibly because of the ductwork getting damaged there.
Well, he's getting a push into the infield. Ronnie Silk, the 83 car. 79 laps in the books. Coming up to complete lap 80. $20 laps left to go at TC. Teddy Christopher trying to score his first modified win here at New Hampshire.
I'm surprised Teddy might have to probably jump out of this car today and head somewhere else to race as much as he races during the week.
Seems like he always has a planes, trains, and automobile story. He's always jumping into a chopper going somewhere to race NASCAR's weekly series.
I believe he'll be running the Cup race tomorrow.
Well, he continues to lead here at New Hampshire. Back at New Hampshire International Speedway, Speed presents the NASCAR Featherlite Modifieds. And there's the 77, John Blewett. Fresher tires in the 50 of Zegedy. Currently runs in the 3rd position. For more on his progress today, let's go to Marty Snyder.
And his crew chief, Eric Chase, has helped him get up there. He got him to 3rd, but can he pass the tag team of the Christopher brothers?
Well, it's going to be a tough battle, but he's had a good car today, and it's kind of shown. He came from the back, what we had to do.
All right, he said, you know, it's a little tighter than I would like right now, but I think we can get it done. Those tires are looking pretty good on that 77 car.
Blewett won here last fall. Not with this race car, different race car, but he's winless this season. Best finish so far, 2nd at Riverhead, one of your old racetracks.
Yeah, it was
down the road from Bellport.
Awesome little racetrack. Learned all our tricks of the trade there.
Little bull ring on Long Island. 81 laps so far completed out of 100 today here at New Hampshire. And Teddy brings him down the green once again. Single file down the front stretch is Nevin George. The 0 dives on the inside. The Christophers dive down into turn 1 with Blewett in tow. 18 laps to go here on the Magic Mile. So with 18 to go, Tommy, do you sit and wait and try to size up and set up your competition, or you just go and try to get up there if you're Blewett, or do you sit and wait?
Well, the amount of drafting that goes on, I think you need to try to figure out where you're going to set them up. Probably 2 or 3 to go would probably be the place, to, the time to do it. This looks to me probably about 5 equal cars right now. Mike Stefanik came over the radio when that caution came out and said he definitely didn't need that caution. The car was just getting ready to start coming in.
Good example of bump drafting between the two Christopher brothers.
Yeah, and as you saw when they went in the corner, Teddy had to overdrive that corner a little bit because he wasn't sure when Michael was going to let off, and that's what happened. If he let off a little earlier than Michael was bump drafting, he would have spun out.
Steffi dives on the inside of Zegedy, trying to take over the 4th spot. Slow car on the bottom. He takes the position.
Steffi's car is coming in well right now. I believe he pitted. Did he, Marty?
See the 48 of Hirschman. Working all over the back of the 50 car. Marty?
There I am, Tommy. I'm here for you. Pitted on lap 65, and that experience is starting to show. Look at him trying to go under John Blewett right there. He's won here many times in the past. Got a great race car right now, just taking over 3rd.
Stefanik not running the full modified series this year. Limited schedule.
He's got his buddy Sly, crew chief, and the Carson's out for debris there.
Caution flies once again here at New Hampshire. Debris on the front stretch. Halfway between start-finish in turn 1. Good shot of it.
As I was getting ready to say, Sly, who was his crew chief throughout the years when they won all those modified championships with the famous Casella number 15 there, and they got back together this year on a part-time basis, and looks like the old magic's working.
So much history with this division, Tommy.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, there's probably, I think, 5 or 6 cars that have been around for at least 40, good 40 years in this division. You know, you have the 4-car, the Mystic Missile.
Bob Garbarino.
Bob Garbarino owned Art Barry's team. The Lenny Bola car. I mean, just to name a few. And they do it because they love it. They don't do it full time to make any money. They don't do it for a living. They just do it because they love it.
So much passion with this series. Well, 86 laps are completed of 100 here at New Hampshire. Teddy Christopher continues to lead.
Your car has many natural enemies. One is rather
finishing up our 8th caution of the afternoon. 88 laps of 100 completed, and the reason for the caution: debris down toward turn 1. As Teddy Christopher leads the field once again out of turn 4. He's led 56, now 57 laps this afternoon here at New Hampshire. 10 laps to go.
And I believe the only way that the 16 or the 77 has a chance to win this race is to hook up together and try to draft by both Christopher brothers, because you know both brothers are going to work together. You know, both Teddy and Mike are going to work together.
So is this where you have your spotters working deals, saying, okay, let's try to hook up and make a move?
I think so. I think they probably spoke under the caution.
So, Marty, are they working deals?
Oh, yeah, Matty. Don't you think they're working deals? Steve Zabin, or Sly, as you would say, Tommy. Mike Stefanik's crew chief working a deal with John Blewett's team. He said there's 2 team cars in front of us. There's no way we'll pass them by ourselves. We've got to have the 77's help if we're going to get this done.
The 16 Stefanik, the 77 Blewett, trying to work a deal to get by the Christopher brothers, the 2 Mystique Motorsports entries. Stefanik, 65 career wins, 6-time series champion.
Mike Stefanik is an awesome race car driver. He's another one that drives all different kinds of divisions and has won in all different divisions. But, you know, he's also fighting the Christopher brothers. But Barry was his crew chief, I believe, from the last championship they had together.
Barry Cornell?
Yes, and he's also fighting that thing. Because Mike did drive those type of chassis. Now Mike's in a Troyer Engineering car. Billy Colton up in Rochester builds beautiful cars up there. He has a lot of, probably 30–40% of the field right now that drives his Troyer cars.
8 laps to go. A lot of single file racing. Now, Tommy, at what point here do you try to make your move so you don't make it too soon?
Well, I think right now they're sizing each other up. I think Mike probably laid back a little bit and tried to let the 77 catch back up to the 3 guys, the 3 leaders, and so they can start feeling out what they're going to do, inside, outside, off the turn, you know, off turn 2, off turn 4, getting in. I think they're trying to work it out now.
And there goes Steffi, trying the inside, makes the move on the 82 car, bumps Nerf bars down in turns 1 and 2, trying to take over that 2nd spot. Side by side off turn 2, bumps again.
And there goes the help. I guess I don't think they're going to help. Like racing at Daytona there, everybody's your friend to the last 10 laps.
Stefanik trying to regroup. Now alongside Szegedy in the 50, dives back into that 4th spot. 6 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Teddy Christopher has never won a NASCAR Featherlite Modified race here on the Magic Mile. 4 Busch North wins here. Never a modified trophy. Would love to add that onto his racing resume, which he has just about everything on that racing resume.
Yeah, he's just, you know, he's an incredible talent. I was telling him yesterday, I believe if he was 15, 20 years younger, he'd definitely be in the Cup Series.
We've seen so many drivers come out of this division and move up to trucks, Busch, and Nextel Cup. But we've also seen, like you, Tommy, a lot of guys who've turned wrenches, worked their way up. Bono Mannion, Martin Truex's crew chief in Busch, perfect example.
And unfortunately, us moving up has kind of hurt the level of people that work on these cars. You know, they're just so many people have all the jobs they have to do on a regular basis, and it's hard for them to get to the shop at night. And we grew up around it, and you know, you talk to all the people. A lot of teams don't have much help nowadays.
Now, while these guys are battling for 3rd, the Christophers have pulled out a little bit of a cushion between themselves and John Blewett in the 77 car, Stefanik in the 16, who tries to make a move on the 77. Szegedy trying to help. 4 laps to go.
I think the Christopher brothers definitely have the 2 best handling cars right now. As you can see, obviously they're 1st and 2nd, but looks like Michael's a little bit better. You know, they have wrecked going for the lead against each other. Just want to let you know, I've witnessed it a couple times, and we'll see what happens.
Three laps to go. The Christophers lead 1-2. Meanwhile, big battle for 3rd. Stefanik working all over the back of the 77 of Blewett, who won here last September. Two to go as the leaders head off in turns 1 and 2.
And Barry Cannell has prepared both those cars for this race, and they made a call to Greg Narducci, one of my
trouble off turn 2. Big wreck. The 77 of Blewett, the 50 of Szegedy up against the fence. Cautions on the racetrack. 2 laps to go, and that's going to set up a green-white checkered finish. We do not end under caution here in the modifieds.
It's going to be pretty exciting here.
Szegedy, the defending series champion. Burnham Boilers on that race car for this race. Typically Haynes Construction on the race car.
You know, we were getting to the end of the race here, and you know, everybody was starting to show what they had there, and it looked like some real estate got used up there, and they got together and got in the wall.
See Blewett's race car taking the helmet off. Well, let's see what happened.
Looks like Szegedy got a good run off turn 2 there, and looked like John didn't even see him, and was getting up on the outside groove there and running to Szegedy, and that's where the trouble started.
Tony Hirschman in the 48 snuck by on the inside. We're going to sneak away, take a break, while Todd Szegedy takes off the helmet. His chances for victory gone here at New Hampshire. Teddy Christopher still leads. In New Hampshire, NASCAR Featherlite Modified Series action here on Speed. The field's been given the 1 to go. green next time by. The Christopher brothers still 1-2 with Mike Stefanik in third. Marty?
An interesting setup here, Matt. Teddy Christopher came on the radio and asked his brother not to bump him at the start. He said, I'm fine, I don't need his help at the start. But I don't think he's going to help him very much. Mike is a little bit better getting into the corner than Teddy is, so he has to protect going into the corner is what his crew told him. And behind them, Mike Stefanik has tires that are about 20 laps fresher. The Christopher brothers pitted on lap 39, Stefanik around lap 59. So I don't know if that's going to play a big factor. What do you think, Tommy?
Well, I don't think there's enough laps for it to play a factor. You know, there hasn't been enough green flag laps to wear out these tires, but it's going to be awfully hard getting past the Christopher brothers right now.
5 laps past the scheduled distance of 100 laps. The Modified's a neat deal in this series. They do not end a race under caution.
Yeah, and it's caused a problem for a couple teams. They've run out of fuel, like I said earlier. Some cars could make it, some not. I'm a little worried about Tony Hirschman myself, and you know, he hasn't pitted, and hopefully he can make it to the end.
First 3 cars have fresher tires. The 48 Hirschman sitting in 4th. Green flag in the air. He has not pitted yet. He has what he has as the Christophers lead the field down in the turns 1 and 2. Steffi wasting no time trying to go to the outside on Mike Christopher in the 82. 2 laps to go.
Tony Hirschman trying to get up there and battle with the leaders.
His brother Mike working all over Teddy.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Mike seems to be a little bit better through the center of the corner, and it's going to be exciting here.
Teddy Christopher, Mike Christopher, followed by Stefanik in third, Hirschman in the 48 car in 4th.
If you're going to make your move, he needs to make it now, I believe.
Donnie Leah, the 18, has made his way back into the top 5. Led 15 laps earlier in the race. Indian file, 1st through 5th, down in turns 3 and 4. The checkered flag's in the air, and TC is going to hold off his brother and scores first modified win here at New Hampshire.
That's great. It was a good team. 1-2 finish there, and you know, Michael actually he got a good run off of 4, and it was less than a car length lead there at the end.
Great day by Mystique Motorsports. 1-2, Mike Stefanik third, Hirschman 4th, Donnie Leah rounds out your top 5. Big win by Teddy Christopher. And Tommy, it's special to win here at New Hampshire.
It is. It's the biggest race of the year for the Modifieds. They come here twice a year, and you know, they put on a good show for the fans. All the Cup people are here, and they like to showcase their talent.
Teddy Christopher will now have a modified trophy from New Hampshire to put up alongside the 4 Busch North wins, the trophy he has on his mantle. We'll be back. New Hampshire, the New Hampshire International Speedway, where Teddy Christopher's done something he's never done in his racing career. Win a modified race here on the Magic Mile. Let's go to Victory Lane and Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, this celebration has been a long time coming for Teddy Christopher. This is start number 25 in the Modified Series. He described his focus before the race to me as laser. They wanted to win this race, and here's Teddy Christopher in Victory Lane in New Hampshire. Man, this has been a long time coming, hasn't it, Ted?
Yeah, we've been real fast here a lot of times. Sat on the pole a lot and everything, just never could really finish the chapter, you know. And I told everybody today, you know, the past couple of days that we were fastest in every practice, fastest in time trials, fastest in happy hour, and it's like if we can just finish the chapter and make the book complete would be, you know, winning this thing, and that would be it. We did it finally.
How worried were you about your brother being behind you? I know you said he wouldn't pass me, would he?
No, that's the best thing to do is probably have your brother. You know, I really like to thank Jim Galante, Mystique Motorsports, for you know, giving us this opportunity to drive his equipment. And that's actually got my motor in that car, so it was a pretty good finish for both of us.
Did you know Stefanik was coming and had the fresher tires? Were you worried about him?
No, not really. You know, I mean, he had to get hooked up with somebody else, and you know, it seemed like those guys weren't working, and my brother and I were working together pretty good. So.
All right, we'll go find Mike. We'll go find his brother. Career win number 16 for Ted Christopher.
Teddy Christopher, 2nd win this season. His first was at Thompson. Big win here today. Teddy Christopher, brother Mike, 1-2. Mike Stefanik, Tony Hirschman, good points day. And Donnie Leah made his way back into the top 5. Followed by Sylvester. Eddie Flemke, point leader, finishes 7th. followed by Rick Fuller. Ken Berry, who overcame that early spin, scored a top 10. Tommy Gravino 11th, followed by the instructor, Kenny Bouchard. Eric Beers had a great run going, had to pit, finishes 16th. The 3-car, Jerry Marquis, 22nd. 4 laps down. He had to pit several times this afternoon. And the Mystic Missile finishes 24th. Chuck Hosfeld in the 4-car.
Looks like Jamie Tomano had a rough day today. He got out early, ended up 37th.
Lost a car in practice on Thursday in a backup car, finishes 37th. And the Reg rounds out your field in the 42nd position. Let's go back downstairs to Marty Snyder.
Well, and the hugs are just as many for Mike Christopher, and great run for you guys. Teddy was in front of you. I know you had thoughts of passing him.
You know, we did, and the caution really kind of hurt my strategy. You know, we had it kind of planned out because we were better through the middle, but you know what? For Jimmy Galani to put an effort together like this, you know, to have both of us bring, you know, tons of money and tons of cars over to go racing and have fun, you know, I just can't thank the guy enough. You know, my crew, they're pickup guys, you know, a bunch of guys that just come up and don't even know how to change tires. Guy gives me a truck and trailer to borrow to get up here. You know, I didn't even have any of that stuff. You know, we just threw everything together. But Mike Paquette, man, probably one of the greatest guys. You know, he set the car up, actually told me what to do. I set it up in the shop. Didn't really do much to it, you know. VP Fuels, just have, you know, just a great deal. My brother, you know, we housed the car at his shop. It's just it was a great deal. I mean, you know, we were both probably 2 of the best cars out there. The caution really hurt us. I don't know if we would have got him, you know. We're just a little bit better in a certain area, but hey, the finish 1-2 is best for the boss.
And Ted wanted to remind him that was his engine in the car, so he wasn't allowed to pass him. All right.
3rd start this year for brother Mike Christopher. Scores his first top 5 of the season. Well, Tommy, what a big day of racing here in New Hampshire, and it lived up to its hype. These cars are so fun to watch.
It was incredible. I appreciate the opportunity to come up here and talk about the Modified Series, and hope I can do it again sometime.
And a big weekend for you, trying for another win here as a crew chief at New Hampshire in the Nextel Cup Series.
Yeah, we had a good day today in happy hour. My Busch car with the Hellman's car with Paul Wolf driving ended up 12th, and so far it's been a good weekend.
Well, a big weekend of racing will continue. Nextel Cup Series Sunday here on the Magic Mile, but Teddy Christopher scores his first win in a modified here at New Hampshire. 5-time winner now on the Magic Mile. A lot of excitement. 20 years of modified racing continues, and we'll be back with the modifieds in September. Big win by TC.